Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Lazz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hi, Walnut. It is me, Lazz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. How is your week going? I would love to know. My walnutting this week is just like this really strange moment that I can't shake. And I've talked about it in the Walnut Tree. I've talked about it with Papa Walnut, with Geordie, with Kate, with the people. And I still can't shake it. So I feel like there is a lesson, there is a learning. And also, again, this episode is just another testament to, every time I say testament, I want to say testicle, like you know how I like shorten the words. It's just a little testicle of how much little bits of brave and little walnuttings do contribute to a life of like, wow, I did that. You know what I mean? But let me tell you the story, Walnut. So I work in corporate, as you know, and I had to fill in for my counterpart doing notes for one of these like big dog meetings. And it's quite a high level meeting. I was really nervous about it. And the weekend, this was a Monday morning meeting, or Monday afternoon actually. The weekend before, I spent the Sunday nursing a god awful hangover. Like when you get over 30, it just gets so much harder to live after a few drinkies, doesn't it? So Sunday was a really bad day, and I just knew, I was like, I'm going to have anxiety all week. I'm going to have dread. I'm going to blah, 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 right? So we're in this sort of like mind space. So it gets to the meeting, and I've, been at, it was like a 3 o'clock or a 2 o'clock meeting. So I'd spent all Monday morning having my like, oh my God, big weekend anxiety, big weekend not feeling, still quite recovered. And then having to wait until the afternoon to get this like meeting out of the way and just smash it out of the park. I've done note taking for meetings before. It's fine, but I think it was just like that it was a high level one that I hadn't done it before, and my counterpart had written me like sort of really extensive notes, and she always puts in like such huge effort in it. She's amazing. That I felt like, oh gosh, I have such big shoes to fill, So the week prior, we went through the agenda with the chair of the meeting. And, she said, and this is Lara, I'm going to be away, so she's going to be filling in. And the chair was like, oh, big shoes to fill, Lara, and then thanked my counterpart for doing the job that she does and everything. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, she's aware, blah, 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 blah. Hey, go to do the partying, go have the hangover. Come Monday, I'm about to go into the meeting. I've followed the notes. I'm still nervous, but we're just going to go in and get it done, because that's what we do as walnuts, right? We're just going to be brave and just go for it. And you know what? I don't have to talk in the meetings or anything, right? I just have to sit there and take notes. Not a big deal. But we got the voice in the head and all the things going on, but we're on the surface, we look calm and collected, and like a duck's feet underwater, we're like, oh, I'm dying. And everything is fine. The meeting is going well. It's wrapping up. And then the chair goes around everyone, any last, general business things to say. Then they turned to me and they said, name of my counterpart. Anything else for you? Anything else for the minutes? Anything else for the note taking? So they called me the wrong name. And this walnut was a normal situation, a normal person, a not scatterbrained, absolutely anxiety-called, out of the mind person would have just let that fleeting moment slide, because it was just like one of those things where it just happens and then you just say yes and then it's gone and then you laugh about it later and it's not a big deal. Walnut, this is the thing that bothers me about my reaction to this, right? I get called so many wrong names daily. Like, people write back to me and they call me Laura, despite my name being Lara bold on my signature. Like, people call me Lana, people call me all sorts of different names. I've got a last name that's like really crazy hard to pronounce. I'm not bothered by people like addressing me incorrectly. Like it doesn't hurt my feelings. It doesn't bother me. On a normal day to day, I'm just like, oh, brush it off. It's not a big deal. Like, okay, I don't need to go around correcting people. Oh, it's Lara, right? But in this bloody moment, Walnut, to a really high up person, chair of a meeting in front of their direct reports and counterparts and all that kind of thing, and they called me the wrong name. And instead of just going, yep, I've got everything I need, thanks, ending meeting, I went, um, actually, I'm Lara. So and so's not here. I'm filling in for them. But yeah, I've got everything I need. Thanks so much for checking. Oh, dead, absolute death, Walnut. Like, why? And it's one of those things, Walnut. It's like it wasn't wrong. It's not wrong to stick up for yourself and go, actually, my name is blah. My name is. There's nothing wrong about it. It's just a situation where I didn't need to do that. And especially when on a normal day, it's not a thing I think about. But because I was so stressed, because I was so anxietical, because I was still like, Monday morning-itis, I don't know what came over me. And that was my first natural reaction to blubber and splutter and correct someone and embarrass them in front of their peers. Oh, like, why? Why? And Walnut, I feel in two emotions, right? Like, I feel the cringe, why? Oh my God, what a dick. Shut your mouth. What's wrong with you? I feel all those things. But then on the other Walnut side, I feel, wow, good on you. Good for you sticking up for yourself. Actually, I'm almost offended for my counterpart that they weren't even like recognized that someone else had taken their place. Like, they should have been told that, like there's this little like self-righteous feeling that comes along with that as well. And so I think, Walnut, it's just a strange place to be, that my first reaction is to stick up for myself, even when I am in such like a panicked, scatterbrained state. That my reactions are now in spite of, my reactions are now just sticking up for myself. And I think that's really weird. And I think it's an achievement, as much as the other half of me in complete polarity cringes as like, of all the moments, Lazz, of all the moments in corporate, we had to pick that high level one. But it wouldn't be a Lazz moment without it, right? So, for closure, then the person just went, oh, and sort of ended the meeting and didn't really look at me, and then everyone walked out, and it was like one of those moments like, awkward. But so many faces, so many people, they will not remember it. And when I talked to Papa Walnut after, just a bit mortified and a bit just like, it's not even mortified, it's just like, why? Papa Walnut was like, don't even give it a second thought. They will have completely forgotten about it now. They're so busy people, blah, 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 blah. He was like, it's not even storming a teapot. It's just, don't even think about it anymore. Funnily enough, that was last week, and I'm still thinking about it. Hence my coming to chat with you about it now, Walnut. But it is just so weird to tell the story back and feel those two emotions, like mortification, and then like, you go, Lazz, you go, girl, you tell people who you are. You know what I mean? And I think it is a testament to my Walnut. Why am I getting emotional? I think it is just such a huge achievement because of all of the self-work that I've done, and that I believe in myself, even in moments of feeling anxious, nervous, afraid. I still put myself into situations and I do them. And when they're challenged, I don't know if you'd call that a challenge, but I know that my instinctual reaction now is to stick up for myself, not to think about in the shower afterwards and think about, oh, you could have said this. Imagine if you were so bold to reply and say, well, actually, my name's Lara, you know? I don't know. I think this is an important thing to share, Walnut, because it's all these little steps that all of a sudden you're looking back at little micro moments like this that should be forgotten, which I haven't yet, where it's like, I just backed myself. I was just a bold bitch. I just held the floor. I just owned the room in front of a bunch of like high level boss bananas and corrected my name so that people know who I am. Like, who is this woman? you know? So yeah, it's like it's not celebrating, but it's just basking in that feeling of like, wow, look at you go, Walnut. The little walnut that could. Like, look what you did. As well as of all the moments, why? But maybe that needed to be that. Maybe that moment needed to be that moment at that level for me to realize, like, yeah, I've got my own back. I support myself, I back myself, I believe in myself. So just a fun little reflection of mortification, happiness at the same time, Walnut. I'd love to know if you if you've ever had a moment like this, if you're like cringing or laughing with me, let me know. I want to hear from you, and I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful Walnut Wednesday. And just let me say this as a reminder, Walnut, to keep going with the baby steps and with the little affirmations and the little flap taps and phlebotomy rubs and the little moments where you whisper under your breath, I can do this. Because you may come to a moment like that, Walnut, where you're in a room of people who are like, I'm doing air quotes, like higher than you and higher up in the hierarchy or higher ranking or whatever, where you take that moment and you're like, I'm me. Hey, in full onus, in full confidence. Well, I wouldn't say confident, but in full courageousness of like, yeah, hey, and hold the room for that little microsecond because you're so worth it and you're so beautiful. So on that, you're beautiful again. You're sexy, you're delicious, and you're a wonderful, brave walnut, and you can do all the things, even when they're hard. Have a happy Walnut Wednesday, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.